great benefits in being a spiritual sleuth. I like the word sleuth, detective. You know, I liked Miss Marple, you know, Agatha Christie, because Miss Marple was his grandmother, the elderly, spinsterly lady that nobody really paid any attention to, but she always knew all the clues and solved all of the mysteries. Anyway, so I thought I should start the Miss Marple School for Spiritual Sleuthing, because you're looking for clues. And in this power of observation, you know, we look for clues. And what are the clues that we're looking for? We tend to, there's something that is calling us within. And to me, that is a big part of it is overcoming doubt. Doubt that even a supreme Mother, Father, God exists, that we're part of. People like, you're all independent kind of flow. You're just electronic pulses and well, the body, but I'm not this physical body. I have a spiritual divine body. The physical body is actually operating through the laws of this system, this three-dimensional reality, which could be a virtual reality projection. But yet if we have a body here, we also have a body spiritually, because as above, so below. And that is not the astral body, but our true divine spiritual body. So being a spiritual sleuth, like a detective, but I like sleuthing better. I remember I didn't really like to read in school or anything. I did sports, music. I had a great time. School was great. But one day I was in the library in high school and I found a book on reincarnation about Bridie Murphy. And then I was like, wow! I was like, wow! You know, because I had some schooling like in Christian Science and that sort of thing, and you know, beginning to look at consciousness and how thoughts, and then the metaphysical interpretations of the teachings of Jesus, and this, you know, so all of this wonderful information and knowledge there. And so when we're detectives, spiritual sleuths, and in anything, see, we're looking for clues. And most people, what they're looking for is, where can I enjoy? What can I get something? What can you do for me? How can I get it outside? Which means that we're always dependent on the outer, not realizing that the outer is, in a sense, an expression of the inner, or not the inner, of the subtle, the mind, the belief system, the intelligence, those concepts, like, in a sense, the overlay. And this overlay that is covering people's consciousness and projecting, in a sense, fear and loss and lack as a reality. When you recognize and realize that, you no longer honor the overlay. You no longer honor the false, because you know what you're seeking as a sleuth. It's the truth and the absolute truth. And it really doesn't matter what it is, but you know it when you get it. And then when you get it, you know that it is. And then you can perceive it, and the key is, it's not something outside of us, we are part of it. It is us. We are that, the absolute. Yes. And as we do that, then each situation that you meet in your daily experience, how you're going through things, you're either applying those clues, those gems, those morsels that give you that taste, where somehow you release something, you're free from it, you experience something, and what the key is, we could do it instantly, and yet there's this attachment for this reality to be as we want it to be. But this is the mind virus thinking through your mind to get you, your entire life, to endeavor for the body and your physical senses and this false ego personality that you must defend, promote, and protect at every moment, With everything you identify with, that's not you. So there you go, lifetime after lifetimes, trying to get it right. I got to get it right this time, boy. And I'm going to get it right this time. No, you got to go also beyond what we call right and wrong, because that's basically right. You know, training that right hand that promotes the left brain to keep you locked in numbers and letters and symbols and classifications and labels, when our true nature is completely creative. And when we bring those together at some level, it's that marriage of our male and our female. So you look at, what are you looking for? And when you really want something, don't ever give up on it. Because truly, and what I found is I can read all these books, and one day I've read them all, and I think, well, is that it? And then a whole new category of knowledge comes that I never knew about, or was there always. But when you're ready, it's there, because it always was there. And then all of it is teaching us to more and more, all of it is to know that we are with the divine. And we either are open to this or closed. And when we're open, it's easy street. Yes, you go with the flow. And it flows fun and wonderful. Or you can go swim upstream instead of go down the river in an inner tube, or however we used to do that. Fun. Or you're struggling uphill, or you're caught in the whirlpool and don't know how you're going to get out, but you got to keep going because you don't know what else to do. Because then it's to take a look at, is sleuthing, what's the cause of the problem? What's the source of it? And it isn't always like looking who's to blame of it, because only one we can work with is ourselves. And so for me, that is the cleansing of all those agreements and contracts that I've made to limit myself, to torture myself. And what is that main thing that you discover is the main problem is to misidentify yourself as a physical body that can be born and die. And the whole thing is fear, is what controls what we have called humanity. And when you step out of fear, you're not in humanity, in a sense. No, you're being who you really are. Yeah. So, spiritual sleuthing is you're out there looking for clues. And it depends on what you want. It's like when people come to a retreat, or I do counseling, I say, well, what do you want? Because I know how to facilitate that, but you're the one that has to know what you want. And when people don't, well, then let's work it because you do. And we'll get to that. And this liberation is to liberate ourselves from the lies that persist as problems. To liberate ourselves from self-torture, self-hatred, which comes from the terrible feelings of guilt for all the atrocities that we have participated in since the beginning of the time game. Because it wasn't us. We focused on that. We believed that mind. But now that time's over. You see where it goes. You know how it does. Honor yourself. And look at what are you sleuthing for? The greatest treasure that could ever be. It's you in full self-awareness. You are prosperity personified. Yes. This is who you are. So, the Miss Marple School spiritual sleuthing, we're looking for clues.